kept you once again watching the television instead of doing your chores, didn't I? Oh, what the heck. You can watch this episode of Dirk Niblick, but then you'll have to get on with more important things. For example, patching the screen door, carrying out the ashes, and doing your homework. As today's semi-literate story begins, we join Lieutenant Dirk Niblick of the Math Brigade as he warms up for a baseball game.
I love baseball. I like to think of it as our second national pastime. The first being mathematics, of course. But baseball is a close second. I remember when I used to toe the rubber for my college nine, the MIT Nitpickers. I also pitched for them. My senior year, we lost all 27 games, and the amazing thing is, we weren't that good. Yes, sir, there's nothing more exciting than a game of hardball on a summer's afternoon.
Or more dangerous.
Well, if it isn't my neighbor, Mr. Beasley. Come to watch me warm up?
No, I came to inquire as to how much longer you're going to be throwing that ball. I'm having some people over later, and to date, none has asked to be hit in the side of the head by a wild pitch.
I'm finished, Mr. B.
I knew you'd admit it eventually.
You might be interested to know, neighbor Beasley, that Fluff and Fold have invited me to be the manager of their Little League team today.
Not in the least.
Yes, I'll be masterminding their team to victory in their upcoming battle in an ongoing chase for the pennant.
You're a driven mathematician, Lieutenant.
Come inside my locker room and let me show you what I've done, Mr. B. I've computerized the team's stats.
Well, I'd like to, but I've got to get my sidewalk shovel before the guests arrive.
But there hasn't been snow on your walk for weeks. We're in the midst of summer.
I know, but it's so much easier if I do that particular task now.
Nonsense. Come with me.
Oh, very well. I thought your computer was down, Lieutenant.
It was, but I had it fixed.
Oh, does your cat know?
I've put all Fluff and Fold's team statistics into my computer. It will make it easier to make decisions during the game.
You mean there are actually decisions to be made about baseball games other than should I go?
Most assuredly. A manager needs to know whether a particular left-handed hitter can hit a particular right-handed thrower, whether or not late in the game your opponent is likely to hit and run and hit, or pull a double steal. You need to know about a pitcher's tendencies. Does he throw outside, inside? Does he throw curves or hard stuff? Can he field his position with men on base? Is he buntable, choppable, hittable? Is he...
Oh, I'm sorry, Lieutenant. Well, was my snoring bothering you?
Here are a couple of ducats, Mr. B. Come to the game and watch me in action.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Once again, you have whelmed me.
Okay, kids, get warmed up. Fluff and Fold, why don't you peg the old apple around?
If it's all the same to you, Skip, we'd rather play catch with a baseball.
You're a caution, Fold. Peg the old apple around is Lieutenant Niblick's dated way of saying we should play catch.
Oh.
Yes, kids, but as a child, I cut my teeth on this game.
Why didn't you use floss like the other types?
Go warm up.
Hello, Coach Niblick. Meet Mona McGraw, an old friend of yours truly.
How do you do, Lieutenant Niblick? I've heard so much about you.
Really? I'm flattered.
I wouldn't be if I were you.
Play ball!
Okay, Fluff, baby, tuck her right in there, meat. No batter here can't hit a ball in the tush with a kayak paddle.
Again?
That's flexing the old soup bone, Fluff.
Two.
One more strike, meat, and this clown is cat litter.
Three. Well, this is interesting. This next batter's history statistically tells me that, according to the statistics, he hits fly balls to left field 74% of the time. He strikes out 6% of the time and walks 10% of the time, bunts 4%, and does other things 6%.
Okay, Skipper. Okay, Splinter, get ready. This guy may hit it to you.
Two outs, team. One more to go. Okay, batter number 3. He hits grounders 68% of the time. Be alert, you infielders.
Well, my dear, the ball game is over. Let's go over to my place and listen to some Dexter Gordon sides.
The game isn't over, Wallace. That was just the top of the first inning. There are 8 1/2 to go.
You're a perceptive person. I'm not overly crazy about that in a date.
Gee, Coach Niblick, that computer stuff is amazing. It tells us exactly what to expect.
No, not really, Fluff. The computer, in this case, only summarizes players' histories. It can't predict the future.
Well, so far it's batting 1,000 in my league.
Get up there and knock the cover off the ball, Fold.
Okay, but without a cover, the game will be slowed to a limp.
He means get a hit, Fold.
Oh. Your shoes are untied.
Kind of you to warn me.
You know something?
I know where middle C is on the piano keyboard.
Do you know why it will take me longer to run from second to third than it did to run from first to second?
Of course. There's a short stop in between. I think we can leave now, my dear. The game seems to be well in hand.
Don't be silly, Wally.
I was never more serious in my life.
What does your computer say, Coach?
It says we're behind by 3 runs, Fold, and there are 2 outs. We need to stage a comeback. Come on, Howard, you can do it.
I can?
Of course. Get a hit. Okay, Fold, there are 2 outs and you're up. We're 3 runs behind. A home run ties the game.
Why don't you put a little pressure on a chubby backstop, Lieutenant?
I just wanted you to be aware of the situation.
That's like telling trapped miners the canary died.
According to the statistics on the computer, you've walked a lot against this guy, so have a good eye.
All 1, all 2, all 3. I'm out,
He's going to change pitchers. He has 2 he can use. And Fluff is due to bat next. I'll see what her statistics are against these 2 hurlers during other games. According to my statistics, Fluff, you do very well against Baroe. You have 6 hits in 13 at-bats. That's a batting average of about .462. You get a hit off him about half the time.
How about against Newhouser?
Not so well. Your batting average is only 200. 5 for 25.
Yeah, the son of a gun owns me. Let's see who he's gonna put in to pitch.
Rats! He picked Newhouser. Fluff, the game is on the line. The computer indicates you only hit him 20% of the time. I'm afraid I'm going to have to pinch hit for you.
What?
I'm going to put in a substitute in your place.
But I know I can get a hit.
You may be able to, but history indicates your chances aren't as good as Carpy Freeman's. Look at what your substitute has done against this hurler. Carpy is hitting this guy at a .571 clip.
But wait, Lieutenant. I've got a gut feeling I can wrap the K-Pock out of that ball. All I need is the chance, a little support, someone to show love and confidence and concern for me, someone to let me sink or swim on my own merits, someone to let me live or die or...
Gracious.
Besides, I know of 2 fees you got last year that you didn't report to the IRS.
Give that ball a ride, Fluff.
Right. Strike 2.
Lieutenant, see? I told you in your computer I could do it.
And you certainly did, Fluff. A home run to win the game. As I said, computers can tell you about the past, but they can't tell you how much heart a certain little hitter has. Fluff, you beat the odds. I'll never forget the first computer I ever used. It was called Univac, and it was as big as a gymnasium.
What a thrilling climax to a day at the ballpark. Let's give thanks to Fluff and Fold and Dirk Niblick and his computer. And, of course, to Wallace C. Beasley, a bad baseball fan, but a good sleeper. Okay, Mr. Beasley, time to go. Mr. Beasley.